This week I took my car into the dealership for some repair work, and I had, what is it, lower control arm replacement based off of TSB 13-9-3. TSB, Technical Service Bulletin, so 13-9-3. They replaced the control arms, and that came at a cost of $790. When I went back to the dealership, the noise was actually worse than when I took it in, although they said it was less. And now they're telling me for another $880 or $890, I need to have my end links and sway bar replaced. So I walked out of the dealership, and without any mechanical skill and basically tools, I'm going to try to determine if that prognosis is correct and maybe repair it on my own. And with that, we are about to jump in the car now, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the noise that we were complaining about. And we're actually going to go to Walmart and get a set of front end jack stands, whatever it is, and also a jack stand. Jack pump, whatever. You can tell I'm not mechanical, but hopefully this will help anyone else who's just as non-mechanical as I am. And with that, let's get going. All right, we'll see if we can hear the rattling here. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but we've heard some rattling already. And it's pretty much rattling non-stop, but I'm not sure it's loud enough for you to hear. Okay, fast forward 1 week. So last week I went to get the stands, couldn't find what I was looking for, could not get anyone to wait on me, so I eventually left and tried a few other places. They were also sold out. So I came back home and I went on to, I guess it's Rock Auto, and I ordered stands there. And because I saw a good pricing on the sway bar end links, I bought those at the same time. So I was going to try to diagnose first, but I figured that this was such a good price that I might as well change these at the same time anyway. And so got the package this week. This is what I'm looking for. Okay. Hoping that there's two in here. Otherwise, I might not be happy today. And there is. Woo. There's one and two. And of course I have no idea what I'm doing here, so use some knife or something here. Okay, so I just pulled the jack out of the trunk. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen the bolts. I'm taking both front wheels off so I have access to the front ends and get the front end off the ground, get all the weight off the suspension. Alright, here's this one. And of course, the emergency brake is applied in here. I'm also going to put this underneath the car a little bit, so if the car was to fall down, it's going to fall down on the tire. And now to find where this little thing is going to go. Got that jack stand where it needs to be. I'm not just guessing. My brother actually sent me a diagram showing me the jack points underneath the car, so it looks like that is where it showed in the picture. I've got basically like two frames kind of meeting up into like the shape of an A, and they're also kind of like parallel with where the wheels go as well. Just do it slowly. We've got a board behind the back wheels to make sure that the car doesn't slip back. The emergency brake is on. Now we have the jack stands so that the jack stands are holding all the weight on their own. However, I'm going to leave the jack here as just another piece of redundancy in case the jacks were to fail. So we'll go ahead and leave that here. And now this is our part right here. This is the sway bar end link. There's a bolt up here and there is a bolt down here. The control arms that they replaced last week is this piece here. So now we're going to take this one and check this out. So I don't know how easy it's going to be to get off. I may need some penetrating oil, but I'll see if I can find a wrench that will fit that. And otherwise we might be making a trip to the auto store. Just got back from Lowe's. Turns out that these nuts were a little bit bigger than I thought. Like I said, I have no real tools except for what's in my motorcycle. And I needed an 18mm for the new part, and I needed 19mm to get these bolts off. So I've got those, and we'll see if I can actually loosen them now. I did put a little WD-40 on before I left, so hopefully that will help out. Last week they replaced the front end control arm, and if you just look in here you will see the shiny piece and the stickers here, and that's the new piece that they replaced, and it still makes the noise after that, just as much if not more. I think actually more. And now they're saying I need sway bar control, sway bar end link, which is this piece here, one bolt. And then the sway bar itself is this bar here that goes all the way across to the other side. And part of the sway bar are these bushings. And for some reason Ford made the bushings part of it. So you can't buy separate bushings for this. You've got to buy everything. If I need a sway bar, I'm getting an aftermarket where I have separate bushings. So now we'll go ahead and we'll take this one off. So I've got a MOOG sway bar end link. And this was one of the pieces I got from Rock Auto. And it meets the OEM specs. Actually, this is better than OEM specs. This is more like a performance part. And one of the differences is that each one of these ends has a little nipple here for grease. So as time goes on, you will, every oil change, you just like pump grease into here, and it will flush any old grease out of it and keep the part lasting longer so it doesn't dry out. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on now. All right, one thing I will say is these threads are pretty long, and you've got these pieces that come out here. So when you try to put a wrench in, you only have like a limited amount that you can put the wrench up and down. These things are stuck on pretty good. The other side was a little bit easier, but it's a long thread, so you're gonna be doing it for a little while. All right, now for these end links. They just slide out ever so nicely. Now the new ones, they are angled a little bit, and you can see, probably have to position them just a little bit. Good thing is I can hear the grease that has been pre-applied at factory. And I will go ahead and slip this first one on the same way as they came out. You might just have to put a little bit of pressure on, but I think because the wheels are off, they should go on pretty easy. So now it's just putting these bolts back on, tightening them up, putting the wheels on. We'll drop it down, take it for a test drive, and I just hope we don't hear any noise. Otherwise, you know what the next thing is? This guy right here. We'd have to take and replace this and separate bushings, because we will be getting an aftermarket piece. So let's get going. Okay, so a quick little tip. The tool set that I bought today included both an 18mm and a 19mm, and even though that these were different sizes that I was working on, both wrenches worked on both nuts. And one thing that I found that helped is when you're twisting one side, the other nut on the screw or the bolt behind it is also twisting. So you would have to put one on one side and then twist with the other. And of course, to make it a little bit easier, if you just did it in counteractive measures with the turning, it would do it that much quicker. So the one where I had said that was very little play, if I did it more on the back end, I had a lot more play to tighten it and loosen it as needed. So now we've got them installed. We're going to put the tires back on and take it for a little test run. Okay, so we are now going to test drive the car, see if the noise is still here, and we should be able to tell fairly quickly. Usually we can hear it as soon as we back out of the driveway. So Pamela, if you do the honors, please. This is the part where we go onto the road, so as we go over the curb. Oh, that was quiet. We always hear there. There's nothing that I can hear. I think I can probably deem this as being successful already. Yeah, there's no noise at all. All right, whew. So that is the good news, because I was worried that it still might not be it. So let me just kind of summarize again. About a week ago, we were at the dealership. They said that we needed a new control arm, and we replaced that, and I think that was at the tune of $700 and some odd dollars, labor and parts. We went back. They said the noise was much better, but it was still there. When we drove the car, the noise is actually just as bad. We actually thought it was worse, and we took the car away. They gave us an estimate for the work that needed to be done, and that was a total of $886, parts and labor. That was supposed to be for a sway bar and the end links that we got, and instead we went on our own and we got the end links. We paid less than $50 for the end links. They were going to charge us $136 for the end links. We didn't replace the sway bar at all. They were going to charge us $248 for the sway bar. Because I have no tools, I did need to go out and get tools, so I got 2 jack stands for about $22, and I got a set of wrenches today because I didn't have wrenches big enough for the 18 and 19 millimeters, so that was another $40. So I'm out the door on myself with the parts and with the tools that I'll use for other things as well going forward now. I'm at 125 versus the 896, so
I am very happy, and I'll just give a shout out to my dad and my brother. These are real men who know cars and know tools, and have given me some advice over the last few days, telling me what I should be doing, how I should be checking it, and I'm thankful to have had that. So thanks very much. I hope this helps anyone else, and best of luck with your projects.